Alright, horror fans, y'all are stuck with me today. Now, what if Evil Dead 2013 and Evil Dead 2023 switched books? As we know, each Evil Dead has a different Necronomicon in it. The Necronomicon from 2013 that releases the Abomination, and the Necronomicon from 2023 that releases the Marauder. Now, if I wanted to take the fun out of this, I would just say that the cabin survivors would not have a problem because they need a record player to summon the evil from the 2023 Evil Dead. Or the apartment survivors aren't surrounded by woods, which seems to be a direct correlation to how you get possessed in 2013. But for the sake of discussion, let's say that the evil is summoned in both renditions of the movie. Let's say that mom still gets possessed, and let's say little sis also still gets possessed. I think it's safe to say that the cabin survivors would be just fine. Most of the cabin survivors were honestly pretty smart and competent characters, but they were ambushed by the evil and couldn't think fast enough to get ahead of the problem. But in the end, they managed to clutch it out, and they made some pretty solid decisions, for the most part. Whereas the apartment survivors were mostly kids that constantly made terrible decisions, and I mean terrible. They also had the mental barrier of it being their mom that they were going up against, so I do understand that. But still, who is letting this thing in the house? I'll give them this though, the cabin's Necronomicon at least has a way to kill the evil before the Abomination shows up. Fire, being buried alive, I think dismemberment. The apartment's Necronomicon, there is no way out of that. All you can do is run. Trying to escape the Marauder in the woods is probably a lot easier than trying to escape the Abomination if you were out there. She just seems so much faster than this blob. Not to mention that if Beth and Cassie were able to handle the Marauder on their own, I don't see any reason that the cabin survivors couldn't clutch it out. But if the Abomination were to rise inside of that apartment, it would be GG's for all of them. I know I just gave Beth and Cass some props for being able to take out the Marauder by themselves, but what are they doing to the Abomination? They would be absolutely cooked if this thing started coming out of the ground in their apartment and just decided that it was done, that it was game over, no more playing around anymore. They could barely keep out their dead-eyed mom from getting into the apartment, and you're telling me that they're gonna be able to stop a beast that can flip a whole truck over? Nah. I think it's GG's for the apartment crew.